The Clover Hill Cavaliers head home for homecoming, the fourth game of the 2012 varsity football season. Cavaliers set to face off with George Wythe and still looking for their first win of the 2012 season. Cavaliers receive the opening kickoff, and it's Carl Peterson kicking it down 40 yards to the Cavs 20, where Sal Sadati picks it up. He's going to bring it back 18 yards before he's finally brought to a stop. A couple plays later, and it's Kendrick Robinson completing the pass to Ty Farrell. Ty Farrell finds some running room, and he's headed downfield, baby, 77 yards, all the way down to the Bulldogs' 2-yard line, where he's finally brought down by Marquise Brown, and then Sal Sadati carries it in on the next play, 2 yards out, in for the touchdown. Cavaliers lead early. Mitchell DeShane kicks in the extra point. Cavaliers up by 7 early in this game. DeShane's going to kick off 35 yards to the Bulldogs' 25, where Devon Ross will bring it back 75 yards, finds a hole down the Cavaliers sideline, and he's headed for the end zone, and it's going to be a George Wythe touchdown, so the Bulldogs striking right back. The Bulldogs are going to go for the 2-point conversion, but a wall of Cavaliers meet the running back right at the goal line and shove him backwards, so the Cavaliers hold him off for only 6 points. Cavaliers still lead by 1, still very early in this game. So Carl Peterson comes back out, kicks it off to the Cavaliers, and it's Bobby Fulp that's going to pick it up this time. 41-yard return to the Bulldogs' 37 before he's brought to a halt. Ty Farrell's going to get a couple of carries along with Kendrick Robinson picking up a few yards for the Cavaliers, but they eventually have to punt away, and Justin Jones sends it 36 yards, where it is down at the Bulldogs' 7. Nice job by the Cavaliers special teams. The Bulldogs have their back against the goal line, and the Cavalier defense holds strong. They'll keep them there. Bulldogs drop back this time. They try for the pass, but it's picked off. Darian Powell of the Cavaliers takes it in from 7 yards out and gets himself a TD, and they will celebrate. Cavaliers putting another touchdown on the scoreboard. Extra point by DeShane is good, so they'll lead 14-6. DeShane kicking off. They'll try for the little onside here, but it's the Bulldogs recovering the ball. They'll come out, and Devon Ross is thrown for a 6-yard loss. Jordan Smith saying that you're not going anywhere. Coach O'Hare talking it up to the team on the sidelines, keeping everybody pumped up. That's Powell there, the man who just scored that touchdown on the interception. O'Hare probably congratulating him. Couple of carries by Ty Farrell and a few of the other Cavaliers. Kendrick Robinson on the keeper there, and then Bobby Fulp with a nice run here. They'll drive down, but eventually the Bulldog defense holds off, and Justin Jones will have to punt it away again. And this one down at the 6-yard line. So another great job by Cavalier special teams. Again, Bulldogs with their back against the goal line, and that Cavalier defense proving too tough. The Bulldogs will have to punt it away, and it's a short little punt here, so the Cavaliers take over with good field position. Clover Hill's offense unable to take advantage of the good field position, and they turn it over on 4th down. Bulldogs trying to get something going as we head towards the second quarter, and it's Devon Ross thrown for a 3-yard loss by Mike Davis and Kyle Flaherty, along with some other Cavaliers there getting in on the stop. Second quarter of play starts off with the Cavaliers leading 14-6. Bulldogs still on the drive. Cavaliers, James Strickland, Kyle Flaherty, and others making some nice stops against the Bulldog offense, and that's going to get the Cavalier crazies fired up in the stands. Great fan base for the Cavaliers. A whole bunch coming out supporting them. Coach Henry coming to talk things over on the sideline while we watch the punt. Bulldogs have punted away, and it's Bobby Fulp picking it up. He's going to take it all the way back to the George Wythe 1-yard line, but penalty on the play, and it's called back, so the Cavalier offense will take over. And a couple plays later, watch out, it's number 5, Ty Farrell. He takes off, and he's going to go all the way down to the end zone. 81-yard touchdown run for the Cavaliers, and Farrell getting 100 yards on the night on just 3 carries. Cavaliers lead 21-6 after the extra point, and they'll try another one of the onsides, but they get it a little too early that time. Only traveled 9 yards, not the required 10, so the Cavalier defense has to come back out, and they'll start fighting right away. Jordan Smith's going to take Devon Ross for a 13-yard loss, and then it's Deron Tyler with a nice tackle here for a 7-yard loss against the Bulldogs, so that's going to bring out the punting team. They'll kick it away, but it touches a Cavalier, and George Wythe recovers, so the Bulldogs obtain possession once again on their offensive drive, and Bobby Fulp lays the smackdown right here. A little slow-mo action. Fulp making a big stop here, and that ball ruled an incomplete pass. Another pass by Dimitri Bird, nearly picked off by the Cavaliers. That goes to the air once again. This one stopped. Another great defensive effort by the Cavs. They take over after the 4th down stop. And then it's Sal Sadati and Kendrick Robinson driving downfield for the Cavaliers. They'll carry the ball all the way into the end zone. Robinson scoring that one. So another touchdown for Clover Hill. They put the extra point up and through. Mitchell DeShane with the extra point. It's good. So the Cavaliers lead 28-6. So DeShane out to kick it off, and he boots it down 35 yards where it's bobbled by the Bulldogs, and the Cavaliers finally get on the ball. So Clover Hill takes over with great field position, and it's not going to take long before Kendrick Robinson carries it in from 1 yard out, and it's another touchdown for the Cavaliers. Extra point by Mitchell DeShane is good, so Clover Hill leads 35-6. And that's pretty much going to bring us to the halftime break. Cavaliers with a big lead going into the break. Homecoming festivities going on. King and Queen awarded. Congratulations to Rob Rodriguez of the varsity football team, named Homecoming King. But back to second half action of play after the kickoff. It's the Bulldogs with possession, and they're trying to get something going here, but it's just not working. Dimitri Bird's going to lose 12 yards and the ball, but he's ruled down by contact, and it's Mike Davis, Brandon Tyson, and Jordan Smith all in on that chase down. Then on the punt, it's Bobby Falk picking it up on the bounce and carrying it all the way back to the Cavalier 1 yard line, where Sal Sadati's going to take it in from 1 yard out, and that's going to be another Cavalier touchdown. Another extra point, good. Mitchell DeShane perfect on the night, and that'll put Clover Hill up 42-6. On the ensuing kickoff, George Wythe again having trouble holding on to the ball, but they do retain possession. But the defense of the Cavaliers, again, will stop the offensive drive. Evan Woodson and Austin Sealer in on some stops for the Cavaliers. So that's going to force the Carl Peterson punt, and that's downed on the 41-yard line. Cheerleaders on the sideline doing flips. Everybody's happy. Cavaliers look like they're headed for the W. And some fumbles on the night, though. Here's 3 in a row. How about this? First, the Cavaliers turn it over. Then George Wythe decides they're going to turn it over. And then the Cavaliers are going to turn it over one more time. So nobody really wants to hold on to the ball at this point. And the Cavaliers are going to take a 42-6 point lead into the fourth quarter of play, with their defensive line looking tough, the offensive line getting nice drive down the field. So everything seems to be set for that big Cavalier W they've been looking for all season. Clover Hill Cavalier dance team sends us into that fourth quarter action play, and it's a bad snap by the Bulldogs on the punt, and that's going to again give the Cavaliers great field position. So the Cavalier offense takes out Sam Allen behind the wheel this time, and there goes one of those helmets, new rule. If you lose your helmet during a play, you have to set out a play. So Cavaliers are going to drive it into the end zone, though. Kwame Hawkins rushes it in from 1 yard out. So it's a Cavalier touchdown, and the extra point attempt up and through the upright. Cavaliers lead 49-6 over George Wythe. And this one looks like it's all Cavaliers. There's Andy, one of the dedicated helpers on the sideline for the Cavaliers, long time with Clover Hill. Cavaliers again do the little onside kick. Bulldogs recover, and they'll have good field position to work with. But again, the Cavalier defense stepping up. Tony Stells, Dylan Turner, and others making big plays. And here, big number 78, don't even have his name. I think he's one of the new guys from the JV squad moving up, and he comes up with the ball, just takes it right out of the hands of the Bulldog runner. So Clover Hill gets possession of the ball. They'll drive it in a couple of plays, and then they'll just decide to take the knee and let the clock run down. So Cavaliers get the win. Clover Hill picking up 49 points against George Wythe. Clover Hill picked to lose this one by some, but they show they've still got it as they win their homecoming game. And finally, I tell you what, the Clover Hill team happy. They go up to the stands, especially to see the Cavalier Crazies, who've done great supporting them all season. Can't help but love those Cavalier fans coming out and supporting them every week. Some smile on the Cavalier faces.
I like it.